Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Tom LaHue. We're going to talk about Enneagram Type 3, and we're going to do something fun today. We're going to say what jobs or careers out there might align with the values and motivations of an Enneagram Type 3. Now, of course, you're not limited to a list like this, but it's just fun to speculate and say, here's some things I think I could see a 3 being and enjoying in their life as a career. Now, before we jump into this video, just a reminder, in the description below is a link to my website, tomlahue.com, where I do offer Enneagram coaching for yourself or for your relationship. You know, the Enneagram is a fantastic tool to help us know more about ourselves, to see our blind spots, to really challenge us. And if you've gotten stuck in life and you're not sure what's next, or your relationship is suffering and you guys are not as close in your marriage as you used to be, you know, the Enneagram is a great tool to help us to gain compassion for ourselves and others and to live with the ones that we love in a little bit more understanding way. So reach out to me. I'd love to work with you. You can see my coaching program, Present to Life, on my website. It's a 3-month program specifically designed around you, your Enneagram type, to help you reach your full potential in life. Also, check out my courses. I have a lot of great stuff coming up live on Zoom, as well as a lot of on-demand classes. And if you sign up for my Present to Life coaching program, you'll get free access to all of my on-demand classes for a year. So let's jump into this discussion today on Type 3s and the careers or the jobs that they might excel at or find fulfilling. Now, before we jump into that list, I know you want to just jump into the list and say, well, let's have the list. I want to talk for a moment about what maybe a Type 3 is looking for in their pursuit of a career. In other words, what career fields appeal to them and why? And so Enneagram Type 3s, I've got my notes here in front of me. Type 3s are known as the achievers, the performers. They are typically, we think of them as being ambitious and driven people, at least, you know, in their average health or their health. In their unhealth, they could maybe lose that drivenness and that motivation and become stuck if they can't see a way forward or they don't feel like their work is being recognized. But they typically are, we think of as ambitious and driven people who are very success-oriented. Now, to be fair, Type 3 Wing 2s tend to be more outgoing, warm, and friendly and engaging, often like ENFJs. And then 3 Wing 4s tend to be a little more reserved, a little bit more focused on their work, and a little less needy of people's appreciation around them. And 3 Wing 4s often tend to be like INTJs. Not always the case, but it's just kind of interesting how that stuff works. 3 Wing 2 is called the charmer. 3 Wing 4 is called the professional. All right, and the 3 Wing 4 is a little more tuned into what is meaningful to them with that dominant 4 wing. It needs to be something that feels meaningful and important to them, where the 3 Wing 2 tends to be more outgoing and caring more about other people, taking care of other people, and the perceptions of other people. So 3s are often thought of as being goal-oriented and highly adaptable. I mean, sometimes they are called the chameleon, reading the audience, knowing what to say and do in order to be approved of or in order to excel in their given audience. Thriving on recognition and achievement, and often a great need for admiration. Sometimes appreciation, sometimes validation, but often you might just think of just plain old generic admiration. You did a great job. We couldn't have made it without you. Fantastic work. We all appreciate and approve, you know, okay, that kind of stuff. All right, so what kind of, what elements are necessary in their career field in order for them to feel fulfilled? Now, before we get into the list of 10 potential careers, here's a list of 10 things a 3 might be looking for in their career, whatever it is. Number 1, opportunities for achievement and success. Type 3s are goal-oriented and thrive in careers that offer clear pathways for advancement and recognition. So they're often motivated by achievement and enjoy those roles or jobs where their successes are acknowledged and celebrated. So you might think a job with a clear ladder or a clear path, graded steps upward. Now, the most obvious career field like this would be like the military. I'm not saying threes will end up in the military. I'm just saying, think, you start out as a private, you move up to a sergeant, then, become whatever comes next, lieutenant, captain, major, colonel, general, that step stone. Think like Boy Scouts, where you earn all these badges and you can display and attain upwardly mobile levels of respect and opportunities. So opportunities for achievement and success. And I think threes, if they're in a career field that doesn't have a clear path forward, like you can't advance in any way, they might start to get kind of anxious about their work in that job. Threes are often upwardly mobile people, and if they've hit the top and there's no clear path for advancement, you might see them get a little bit frustrated. All right, number two, a job that is competitive with a challenging environment. And you might think, well, doesn't everybody want that? No, everybody doesn't really want that. Not everybody wants a challenging environment that is competitive. I mean, a lot of people, like think nines, for example, tend to be very collaborative. They want cooperative. They don't necessarily want competitive. Competitive can feel, challenging to some people. Even like twos might not want to be in a competitive environment, but a collaborative, cooperative environment. So they often excel in a competitive environment that challenges them to continue to grow and improve. Constantly pushing their limits, testing themselves, seeking out new challenges that can test and display their abilities and their productivity, their accomplishments. Number three, visibility and recognition. A job that has a lot of visibility and a lot of recognition. So something important, something that is perceived by others as being important. So think like the surgeon, or the pilot, although in my opinion, like ones would tend to be much more suited for surgeon, pilot, or you might say air traffic controller, that kind of thing. Threes might really value the visibility and the appreciation that a respectable job gives them. Careers that offer a platform, let's say it that way, they might seek careers that offer a platform for recognition. That could be very appealing to a three. Remember, one of the ways to describe their sin is deceit, self-deceit, but sometimes you'll see their sin written as vanity. And that's kind of what this is that vanity of needing other people to perceive you as being a VIP, a very important person. All right, number four, and you might say, Tom, I don't like this. Okay. It's not saying you're bad. It's just saying all of us have these blind spots. All of us have these sins, and we have to face the dragon. We have to face the sin that we have. And if it's uncomfortable for you, I'm sorry, but can you imagine if you were an 8 and your sin was lust? And everybody knows, watch out for Gary, his sin is lust. They're all unpleasant. Think about a 4 right next to you. Their sin is envy. None of these are attractive, but it is what it is, and we have to learn to, accept not only our positive stuff, but also we have to learn to accept our negative stuff, or we'll never really be able to work past it or around it or through it or however you want to say it. All right, so number 4, professional growth and development. So you need a job or a career that offers incentives and professional growth and development. So, threes tend to be, think of them as maybe like, we might use the term lifelong learners, and seeking careers that offer ongoing training, support, and a chance to acquire new skills and a chance to have new opportunities available to them. And also they may really love being like a trainer, in those kinds of fields where they're training other people in personal growth and development. They would be ideally suited for something like that, I think, in my opinion. All right, type number 5, leadership opportunities. So type 3s, they're an assertive type like 7s and 8s, and very focused on being upwardly mobile and acquiring new skills and pushing themselves. And they may very well seek positions where they are perceived or accepted as leaders and are drawn to positions with responsibility. So they often seek roles where they can lead teams and manage projects and run operations. And I tell you what, threes, you're best when you're in one of those positions where there's a team of people and you're inspiring them to push themselves and achieve more. Rather than just hearing that voice yourself, think of it, instead of that voice of pushing yourself to achieve more, letting that become stagnant with you, think of yourself as a conduit of that message. And everything in your life will begin to change as you think of yourself as a conduit who inspires the rest of us to push ourselves to deeper levels of success, to challenge us. It isn't all stuff you need to hear, it's a message you need to share. And when you do that, you really look like that line to 6, of joining the team and inspiring the rest of us. All right, so number 6, efficiency and productivity. Jobs with a lot of efficiency and productivity. When you think about like an INTJ, for example, NT, efficiency, and TJ, effectiveness or productivity. So careers that allow them to work efficiently and productively, where they can see tangible results. In other words, where you can see that you're making a difference. You can see the results. You can see the sales go up. I think you'd be frustrated in a job where you don't get to see the results. Jobs like, for example, ministry, where you're working, and then you hope it's making a difference, but you don't always get to see the difference it's making. You enjoy jobs where you can see, look, I benchmarks, where I accomplished this and now I'm ready to go to the next level. And I think that would be very, something you might like in a job. Number 7, a job that allows for a lot of image and prestige. So type 3s often care about their image and how they're perceived by others, and so they might want a field where it's well regarded and could be prestigious. So, the first thing that comes to my mind is like politics or government, where you get a title like senator or state senator or representative or congressman or constable or whatever it is, that could feel pretty good, walking into a crowded theater and everybody turning and, oh, Mr. Senator, oh, Mrs. Congressman, oh, that could be very appealing. Okay, number 8, flexibility and autonomy. So, you desire to be able to move at your own pace, to do things in your own way, and to be given some freedom in your job to innovate. Number 9, meaningful impact. A job where you are making a difference. And again, I think this for 3-wing 2s could be like, look, I'm helping people, I'm a chiropractor, I'm directly benefiting others, nonprofits. And then 3-wing 4s, something that resonates with you, something that you feel is making a difference in the lives of other people, something larger than yourself, having a positive impact, something that aligns with you personally, your value system. 3-wing 4 is a little bit more your value system. 3-wing 2s, taking care of others. And number 10, something with a lot of networking and connections, where you're around a lot of big shots doing big shot stuff. I worked with a 3 for a while, and I now looking back, knowing that he was a 3, he was always name dropping. We should have this person come in to do this consultation. We should have this person come in. Oh, and I went to a conference where I met this important person, and I've got a buddy, this important person. And there was a lot of that. Very important to him, that he knew all of these big important people, and that's who we should have come to give us consultation, which, by the way, is one of the jobs I think would be good for a 3, is a consultant. So let's get into that. Let's move into that now and talk about what jobs or career paths might be perfectly suited for the motivations of a type 3. And, again, success, efficient, competent, ambitious, driven, highly adaptable. These are the kind of labels or strengths that we might put on a type 3 or think about when we think of type 3s. And before we jump into the list of 10 different career fields, let me give you a couple of honorable mentions, especially for a 3-wing 2, physical trainer. A physical trainer. perfect job for a lot of threes, like, hey, I've pushed myself, I've overcome these obstacles, I'm disciplining myself, I'm reaching these goals. Let me help you. Let me take you under my wing and help you be awesome too. So think physical trainer, real estate, anything in the real estate market of, is probably ideally suited. Life coach. A lot when you watch YouTube and you watch videos about life coaching, because I've watched a bunch of them so I can learn to do better and better and better. A lot of those people are threes. Eights make fantastic life coaches if you need your butt kicked, and nines make great coaches if you need to gain more understanding about yourself, as well as maybe fours and twos. But threes, life coaches to help you work on goals and pushing yourself and accomplishing more. So that whole field, a lot of these people on YouTube are threes. Okay, so let's look at the list. 10 different careers that I think are ideally suited for type threes. Number one, entrepreneurs, or you might think of like startups, okay? So the drive for success and that ability to adapt to quickly changing environments make threes well suited for these jobs that, you think of as like entrepreneurs. Like starting your own business, seeing a good idea and taking it from start to finish, or even helping entrepreneurs, helping other entrepreneurs accomplish more and reach new levels with their business. Number two, executives or managers or CEOs. Leadership roles in business and organizations align well with type threes' goal-oriented approach and their desire for achievement. So, executive training, executive levels of management, or CEOs. Number three, sales professionals, sales people, people out on the floor, selling condos, selling cars, selling motorcycles, selling real estate, anything in that world of sales. I think sevens and threes often really good at sales, also a lot of nines. Their charisma, their persuasiveness, and their focus on goals, pushing themselves and ingratiating themselves to other people and being liked by other people. Three-wing twos, the charmers. When your personality type is called the charmer, you could use that in order to make sales, in order to reach goals. Number four, marketing directors. Marketing directors for organizations, for companies, for law offices, whatever. I worked with a law office, training their lawyers and their staff on the Enneagram. And guess what? The person in charge of marketing was, guess what? A three, of course. Marketing directors. You got that strategic planning, that creativity, and then also just knowing how to read your audience. Understanding like what's going to appeal to people and what's going to be off-putting to people. That's just such a great, talent of a three. To be able to read the room, to read the audience, and then know how to package the message in order to appeal to the audience. That's what three stuff is all about. Knowing your audience and then packaging yourself in such a way as to be appealing. Okay. It probably hurts when I say it like that. It probably feels uncomfortable, but that's really, what threeness is all about. All right, number five, consultant. Again, a big shot who flies all over the country, consulting people on how they could do better. I've got a friend of mine, that was a president of a college a couple of times, and now he's always talking about how he's going around to other universities and colleges acting as a consultant. He loves that position in life as to be seen as a consultant. This profession allows type threes to utilize their problem-solving skills and their adaptability to offer expert advice. Threes are a competency type like ones and fives, and they like to be seen as an expert, and build, in various business contexts. It could be education, could be business, whatever. And again, that's like a coach or like a business coach or a life coach. Number six, financial analyst or advisor. Financial analyst or advisor. So think, the people that, help people with their IRAs, their 401ks. Their ambition and analytical skills are well suited for roles in finance, hedge fund managers, stock exchange, where they can strive for excellence, managing investments and financial strategies. So getting up, wearing a suit every day, going into this beautiful, lavish business downtown, in a high rise, very appealing to a type 3. Number 7, public relations specialist or / I'm going to say it, politicians. Very 3 environment, okay? Public relations specialist or politics. So PR, the person for the company that's out on the front representing the company to everyone else. Doctor, scientist, PhD, who's assuring the public that no, our products are not harmful in any way. And a desire for a positive image and managing public perceptions of a company or an individual. Perfect job for a type 3. Number 8, a lawyer. The competitive and goal-oriented nature of legal work could be very appealing to type 3s, along with the prestige often associated with this profession. Number 9, healthcare or school or something else administrator. Combining leadership with the desire to achieve and improve systems, like getting in and reading the system, understanding how the system works, and then knowing, oh, they need to tweak this, they need to change this to be more efficient, to be more productive. They need to change this system in order to reach new levels of success. So that's like a logistics administrator for a business or hospital or healthcare or corporation or whatever it is. Number 10, performing artist or entertainer. A lot of type 3s have creative flair and may find careers in the performing arts or entertainment very satisfying. So think actors and musicians, working with stage performance or any kind of performance. Think one of the things that comes to mind that I see a lot of type 3s in, or what I think are type 3s, are newscasters. I think of 6s, especially 6-wing 5s, as being like the investigative journalists who are going to get to the bottom of things and show how they're corrupt and wasting your money. But 3s as being like the people on the set. Well, that's right, Bob. Now back to you. And they've got the big head and the white teeth and the beautiful hair, and they're just winning, charming guy smileys with beautiful personalities that shine through, and just present this information in a very matter-of-fact way. It's very 3 culture, that whole world of newscasters, the Today Show, the CBS Morning, show with Guy Smiley and all that is very, very, I'm being very, what's the word? I don't know. But anyway, fun stuff to think about, fun stuff to talk about, and to interact with information like this. And again, you're no way limited to these professions. It's just when I look out there in the world around me, this is where I might see a lot of 3s ending up or gravitating toward careers like this. Again, you could be anything you want to be. You could be a preacher. You could be a teacher. You could be a doctor. You could be a nurse. I could see you in any area, any career. It's just, whatever the career you choose, you're probably going to show up in a similar way, because you have certain motivations, compulsions, and impulses that are always at work in your personality that are moving you to care about certain things. And you know what? I don't think you need to always push against this. Sometimes you need to embrace it and say, well, this is the way I show up. When I join a team, wanting to excel, wanting to encourage, wanting to drive others and get them motivated and get them moving forward. That's a good thing. If you can keep some of the focus off of yourself and how you're doing, and share that 3 goodness with the rest of us and motivate us and get us back in the game, get us believing more, believing we're capable of more, hey, that's a win-win for everybody involved. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for this video. I hope it's helpful to you. I hope it's encouraging to you. If I can help you in any way, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to work with you. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Be present to life, guys.